Welcome to LanguageLine Conversations. We're here with Rich Vass, Vice President of Customer Success for eLearning Brothers. They help organizations of all sizes create and deliver employee learning that rocks. Richard, hello. How would you describe eLearning Brothers and what sort of clients do you work with?
Hey, Scott. eLearning Brothers is, just as you said, our tagline is we help organizations get their training online. And we do that by either giving them the tools to do it themselves or by doing it with them. And we are proud to claim 100% of the Fortune 100 as our clients. So any big company you can think of is using eLearning Brothers tools, whether that's authoring tools such as Lectora, which is a big name in the industry that's been around a long time. We actually acquired Lectora last year. And we've been working with them for 10 plus years. They've been around since 99. I always say that if you're in the business of word processing, you need a word processor like Word or, you name it, Adobe InDesign. And if you're in the business of e-learning, you need an authoring tool. So we have our own authoring tool. We offer a bunch of asset libraries, about 6 different asset libraries that allow you to download 120 million stock assets or video or audio files to be included in your online training. So really, there's anything you need to build online learning, eLearning Brothers provides that for you, including a platform to host your training, a learning management system. So that's another offering that we added to our stable last year as well. And then a custom services team, where we do a lot of work with clients who just want us to come. They come to us and they just want us to build the training for them. So we work with them and construct their e-learning modules that work, on phones or tablets or desktop, you name it. We're doing a lot of virtual reality now. So we can spend an hour on that. But anyway, that's sort of a good breakdown of who we are and what we do.
What a fascinating company. And we're really fortunate to translate custom training that you do for companies like PayPal and Procter and Gamble. In terms of the work that we're helping you do with our translation, the census recently revealed that America is becoming much more linguistically diverse very, very quickly. At the same time, the economy is becoming more globalized, seemingly day by day. How have those shifts really affected your business?
We often have clients come to us who are interested in multi-language versions of their courseware. So you're right when you say that we're not just producing English only as the primary language for any given course we might deliver for someone. There's often requirements for Spanish translation. We've had as many as a dozen or more, actually, I think maybe 16 plus languages for some of our courses that are offered worldwide. So because we're working with a lot of very big companies, as you might imagine, they have authoring needs that expand beyond North America. And we do a lot of work with organizations in the UK. I would say our clientele is primarily North America based, but secondary is the UK. So a lot of businesses in that region that we're doing work with, who are having us help create their learning. And so we often find that we have a need to provide multiple language versions of any given course. And doing a lot more with South America, in fact. China is a market that is exploding with online learning. And we've done a few there. But not many. We'd like to do a whole lot more in that region as well. So we're trying to keep our eyes on where the needs are and where we can provide the most value. So yeah, there's been a lot of need for that in the last few years, and we expect a lot more in the coming years.
Now, interesting. And then I also imagine that the practice of work at home has gained critical mass, obviously, over the last 18 months. I can only imagine how much that has influenced online learning. Can you speak to that? How has the work at home phenomenon really influenced your business?
Well, certainly it's a sweet spot for us. Our company was founded in 2009 by 2 brothers, literally 2 brothers. We still have one of the co-founding brothers in our day-to-day. He's our CEO. But, we've always ever been an organization to help with remote learning needs. We call that asynchronous. With synchronous means there's a trainer present. It's a synchronous learning experience. There's an actual live facilitator. We provide asynchronous learning, which is no trainer is present. So it's self-paced. And certainly with the pandemic and the crisis over the last year to 18 months, yes, certainly there's been a lot more need for work at home. I mentioned the company was founded in 2009. The custom division was founded in 2012. And I was fortunate to be one of those founders of that custom division. So we started providing services to actually build courseware, which requires a lot more staff, instructional designers and graphic artists and project managers and developers who can work in those authoring and web technology tools. And it requires a lot of resources staff-wise. So as that started to grow back in 2012, we've seen a lot of need for online training, whether it be a new sales initiative a company is rolling out or new product awareness that the entire enterprise needs to know about. We help with courses like that. And we have seen an explosion in our business, I would say, in the last 10 months. Probably a lot of our competitors and those who we work with in the field are seeing the same thing, but there's certainly a lot of need for that. And folks who maybe weren't aware of the need for it as so much before, the need for remote learning are now becoming much more aware. So and we're happy to help provide those services wherever we can.
So when and why did eLearning Brothers decide to offer translation solutions to your customers?
I remember I met Alex, who's our account executive with LanguageLine. He's awesome. And so we actually ran into him. I ran into him at a conference in Dallas back in 2013. And that was, good heavens, going on 10 years ago. And we'd had the custom business in play for about a year. And we were just starting to get requests for multi-language translations. And so I found out that, LanguageLine provided that service. And we were certainly right there at that moment, sort of a magic moment, looking for a partner to start doing that. And we were working with Procter & Gamble is a great example. They're based out of Cincinnati. So we're often down there at their their US-based headquarters. But everything we do for them is 12 plus language requirements. You mentioned PayPal, another long-term client of ours. We do a lot of great work with PayPal. Won lots of awards with both PayPal and Procter & Gamble, which is fun. Industry awards, it's always nice to put that feather in your cap. But there's been a big need there for multi-language translations. And so it's just been so easy working with LanguageLine over the many, many years. And once we were able to say, yes, we do offer localization, translation, then that just snowballed. And so it's just become a no-brainer that, when the organization needs that, we're able to provide it.
Would you say that offering translation has made you more competitive within the marketplace?
Oh, no question. We would not be able to bid on and land the type of work we do without it. And it's a service that we have to provide in today's marketplace. As you mentioned, as the world becomes flatter and our borders become more transparent in terms of work anyway, where we're able to work together with resources from multiple countries, multiple language needs. Yeah, we just could not be competitive without it.
And how much value do your customers see in having eLearning Brothers manage the translation process? In other words, why do you think customers prefer to have you manage translation instead of the customer doing it directly with a vendor themselves?
It's a lot of work. There's a lot of moving parts, I should say. When you create a course and you've got, let's say, audio narration in that course. Welcome to this learning experience. I'm so-and-so. I'm going to guide you through this or whatever that might sound like. Then you've got maybe closed captioning so that folks can read read what the narrator's saying. And then you've got on-screen text, during a self-paced experience. Maybe you're learning a new process. And so there's a new 5-stage process or something where you're going to list each stage of the process during the learning experience. So there's a lot to change, I guess, a lot to consider. So let's say you're going to translate that from English to Japanese. Well, we have to consider not only the words that are spoken for each frame of the e-learning, And I often explain it that way. We're in the business of, our widgets that we create, if a company creates widgets, is frames of learning. Each frame has got something going on. And a frame is, think of it as a screen, right? So you see a screen and you load that screen, and there may be animation on that screen, or certainly there's audio narration. There could be an interaction, like, click this and drag it over there, and or help so-and-so explore this path, or you name it. It's just a lot happening on that screen. So technically, it can get very messy very quickly. And so working with a partner who understands not only and provides, just really excellent native in-country language translators that are just, top notch. There's that. So recording the audio that's needed, translating the on-screen text that's needed, and then ensuring everything is lining up, everything looks right. If I've got some words on a screen in English and I change those words to Japanese, well, they may now be overlapping an image, or they don't look quite right. And LanguageLine helps us clear all that up. So it can be very complex. And so our customers get that. And those who don't, they learn it really fast. And we'll say to them, we really recommend we use our language partner on this because, oh no, well, we've got the translators. We'll just do it on our own. Okay. And then I think 100% of the time we end up coming back to LanguageLine to handle the project. So,
right.
It's just really a lot of moving parts.
Now, LanguageLine has supported eLearning Brothers for, I believe, 8 years. How has that relationship evolved over time?
It's one of those partner relationships that is really, really special for us. And I will say that because not only has the service been excellent, but it's when the chips are down and something goes sideways that you really find out who, it's kind of like who your friends are, But there's been a time or two when, 16 language translation. And I think there was one particular time where we were trying to scope it right. And it was a massive project, global, for a client. And I remember Alex is our AE, our business development manager, came to us. So I think it was late one night, called up and said, guys, I think we got one of the languages that we've got a problem with one of the language providers, or there was something wrong with the translation bid or something like that. And he worked with us right together, shoulder to shoulder, to go back to our client and say, hey, this is what happened. We can fix it if we do this. The client was, very happy with that. And what could have been an explosive situation turned out just great. LanguageLine bent over backwards to take care of us. And you always hope things are going to go just perfect in every project. And oftentimes they do, but we're all humans and sometimes things go sideways. And it's stuff like that. Just having a partner, I guess maybe the best way to put it, it's a partner for us that's been in the trenches with us and has never left us holding the bag, always extremely conscientious and interested in providing service that will make us look like rock stars to our clients. Just become a no-brainer. Every division of our company uses LanguageLine to provide, all of our translation needs. So it's a special relationship, and we've been very, very grateful, even through growth of your own company, as things have changed for you guys over the years. We haven't noticed a hiccup at all in the level of service that we receive.
Well, the feeling is certainly mutual. You're a very dynamic company. And what excites you most about the e-learning space as you look ahead?
Well, I've been in the industry since '93. So that dates me, that's 27 years, 28 years. So it's a long time. As we look forward, all of the projections are that this industry will continue to grow. And the need for it will continue to grow, which is not surprising. Companies and organizations are still going to need to train their people, whether it's a new hire orientation or you name it. There's so many different ways that you could use online learning. So we'll continue to become bigger, and the need isn't going away. So we call our industry learning tech. So we're in that learning tech space. All the prognosticators and projections are that it will continue to grow into beyond the multi-billion-dollar industry that it is now, as clients continue to have a need for this type of service. So that's exciting. It's always exciting to be in a dynamic and growing industry. And one of the things I love most about my job is that you never know who you're going to be working with in a given day. We've done massive projects with the Air Force, with other branches of the military. And then you feel like, wow, we're really helping the country achieve its security goals. And then another day you may be working with, a fast food company to provide better training on how to construct a sandwich. And so that's just been exciting. I get excited about what the needs are out there and how we can help contribute to them. Also, virtual reality. For years I have said that boy, that's the best way to learn. I'm a big Star Trek fan, and if anybody's a Star Trek fan, they've got the holodeck where you can program the room to be any kind of experience you want. You step into the room, and now you're on this planet facing these aliens or whatever. I've often said, man, that's the gold standard for training. And we're here now. So now we're at that point where virtual reality is affordable and it's easier to develop and design. It's becoming, something that's actually accessible for clients. And so I'm excited to explore how we're going to handle that going forward and what will the language needs there be. But we're doing a lot of projects now in VR, in that VR and AR space, that augmented reality space. And that's very exciting. I can go on and on, Scott.
And I was going to ask you, how can translation help eLearning Brothers thrive as the business landscape evolves? How can we help you get where you want to go?
Well, it has to be that no-brainer type of a thing. Again, we're at the point now, we've seen this evolve as our clients have gotten bigger and we do more work with massive global clientele. And I think every company would like to do that. If you're going to hang your shingle out there to provide a service or a product, you want the whole world to buy it. And so we're seeing that now that as we become one of the biggest brands in the e-learning industry over the last several years, I guess I'll just go back to what I said before. You just can't compete without it. It has to be. It's like if I'm going to sell cars and, I have to include a steering wheel with the car. Because nobody's going to look at it. They're going to go, wait, what? You don't provide translation services? So yeah, we just going forward, we just have to be able to say, oh yeah, no problem. No hiccup on that. Well, what's the level of your language translation? Well, we actually work with a partner who has a tremendous depth and breadth of abilities within that space. So I can only see us, as we continue to grow, our relationship with LanguageLine will continue to grow as well. I'm quite certain.
Richard Vass with eLearning Brothers, thank you very much for joining us today.
You bet. Thank you, Scott. It was always a pleasure.